and welcome to the Football Man Cave chats with Martin Love. How you doing, Martin? You right?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Actually, sounds really, really funny calling you Martin. Just come out of your mouth and I thought, no, it's lovely.
Yeah.
So how are you? How's lockdown treating you?
Mate, good. I've said it to loads of people. I'm enjoying it, to be fair. I know it's a shit situation and a shit time and people are struggling and that, but when do you get the opportunity to spend time at home? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And like my daughter's 8, and I think I've not spent this much time with her since the day she was born. I got 2 weeks paternity, and that's the most I think she's seen me. And then because of work, because of life, whatever, you're in your house. You're in your house for what, 8 hours a day?
Yeah. 6
of that you're sleeping. The other 2 you're getting up and going to bed. So like that, it's been good, mate. Yeah, I've been able to like reevaluate, reassess, and set myself new goals and stuff. So it's been pretty good.
Yeah, I've got a bit of both. I've got 2 toddlers, so it's fun for about a percentage of the time, and the other 99 I'm just refereeing.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm lucky because like mine's 8 and she's occupying herself and stuff now. Whereas if she was 4, I'd probably have done a runner. If I'm honest with you, mate. I'd have left a long time ago. I'd probably be sleeping in my car on the motorway or something. Yeah.
I know. I'm on the verge of creating a man cave at the back with a blow up mattress so I can get some things.
Yeah, I don't know how you're doing it.
Right. Want to get into the bones of this podcast now. Obviously, I've known you for quite a while, and we've spoken about your footballing career, but I want to throw it right back to like the start, basically, and then obviously take people on the journey of going through non-league and obviously being released and stuff like that. And tell us how it all started. What kicked it off? What age?
I know for a fact I was about 8 years old, 8, 9 I was, and I never kicked a football or really was interested in any type of sport. I was more that little idiot running around the playground, volleying people, like saying let's play tig, but just volleying them so they fell over and stuff like that. So, them annoying kids that you had when you was younger, that was me. And I just remember a schoolmate of mine said he brought a ball in. And he was like, we're playing football, and he used to shout, let's play ball. And I thought, what's this? But I could see loads of kids running around, kicking this ball and being dead excited. So I thought, what a bit of that. Like, I don't mind the limelight. So get us in there, let us have a bit of that. So I said, I'll play. And I said, what do you got to do? So he just said, you got to boot the ball. In between those things there, you score a goal. Whoever scores the most wins. So I was like, right, let's give that a go. And I just kicked it because I'm quick. I kicked it, ran after it, kicked it, ran after it, kicked it. Mate, you remember what it was like when you was a kid and there's hundreds of kids in the yard all playing.
Like a swarm, weren't it?
Yeah. Just kicked it, ran after it, kicked it, ran after it, booted it. It hit the wall in between the two tops that was on the floor. Everyone cheered and jumped on me, and I was like, this is me. This. Yeah. That was it. Yeah. So that was my first experience of kicking a ball and feeling the joy and the excitement of scoring and how people just love you for booting something in between 2 sticks kind of thing. So from that then, I did it every break, every lunchtime, after school. Then I started to go home, ask for a football, and it just escalated from there, really. Yeah. When I got to about, I remember trialing for the school team, but I was just a kid that could kick and run, really. Like just an athlete, pretty much. Could just kick, run after it, and the school manager didn't want that. He wanted kids who could play in positions and stuff. So I spent a lot of time just being in the A team because I couldn't run, but just sitting and watching them freezing. And remember the balls with the pimples on? Because I'm old, so like I'm 38. So when you go back to when we was in school, it's like it wasn't a good football like an Adidas Tango. It's like them miters with the pimples on, and if it hit you, you'd have like a mark for 3 weeks, wouldn't you? So
it was raining and freezing.
Yeah. And so I remember just being sat in the cold thinking, when am I going to get my chance? And then I can't remember how I got my chance, but I got my chance, just did what I did in the playground, just booted it, ran after it, booted it in the net, scored a goal, and then that was it. Then I was in a team and I was playing, and they kind of just just let me be the striker and score the goals. And that was the first real good memories that I have.
Enjoy, and when you take it back there, football just sounds really simplistic, doesn't it? When you just played in a playground and with your mates, it was just crazy. So how did it go from there then to sort of being recognised as like a talent?
So I played at junior school, and I remember then after all that I can't remember, 9 years old, and you leave at like, when do you leave junior school? You leave at like 10, 11, don't you?
10, 11, yeah.
Yeah. So when I got to about, I think a year later, I developed a knack to dribble, go in and out. They played me like wide left, or they played me down the middle, and I was able to just pick the football up and just run with it. And then what I used to do is just run, and then just slot it past the keeper. Like, I didn't smash it, didn't hit the lever off it. It was just they'd put it in a channel. I'd run onto it. I'd get one-on-one, and I'd just put it either side of the keeper. And
did that feel natural for you?
Yeah. I didn't have to learn that. Like, that was just the first time I ever scored a goal, going back to when I was 8, 9 years old. I did that. I just kicked it, ran after it, and then put it past, just pushed it past somebody. Yeah. It went in between the sticks. So I just did what I knew. Do you know what I mean? I just kept doing that, and then because the school coach wasn't really a football coach, and back in what year would that be? 88, 89, whatever. You didn't really have, your school teacher wasn't a qualified football coach, was there? Like I'm guessing some of them are now. So he just was like, this kid's got a talent. We'll just play the game to suit this lad that's winning us games. And because of that, City started Junior Blues. City started watching and stuff. And then my uncle got me on a Sunday team called Altrincham Dynamos it was, and Altrincham Dynamos, sorry. And I went and played for those, and it was like, they was 2 years older than me, so they was in high school and I was like 11. And it was, again, the first half a season, didn't really get a look in, didn't get a sniff. I was just getting through off the ball. I didn't like it. My uncle kept telling me to stick with it. Took me to my first football game, which is Main Road City. Bought me a City shirt, and I just remember watching, thinking that's definitely going to be me.
Yeah.
And then I think after that game, I've gone to play on the Sunday, and it was, when you're a kid, you don't have no fear. You don't worry about if it doesn't happen. You just watch what somebody's done and be like, I want that.
Yeah.
So I just did that. I just did what I've known all that for that short period. I just got the ball, kicked it, ran after it, slotted it past the keeper, and we won 1-0. And then it was like, I was in the team then. And then for that team, I just scored like 50 goals in a season. And then Junior Blues was like, right, come play for us. And that's when I realised that I had something, when I got picked up from like the football team, but it was like the Junior Blues, so you wasn't a City youth yet. You'd play at Blues first and then move into that. And that was when I realised, I'm good. I've got an ability here. I'm good at doing something. Yeah.
So what happened then at Junior Blues? Was that just like a bridging program?
Yeah.
Like other scouts then still watching you around that point, or
so what?
Of a journey? Yeah,
so what you'd do is you'd go on a Sunday, you'd play for Junior Blues, and then after the games, you'd go to Main Road, and they'd have like a players' lounge, and you'd go in there and they'd put a big thing on. So they'd reward player of a week and stuff like that. So you'd have your Junior Blues, which is the lowest, and then you'd go up to under 18s or whatever it was, and then all the first teamers would be there. You'd be able to go on a stage, have a chat with David White, sit with Niall Quinn, and all that kind of stuff. And it was just class. Like, you could kind of, like, at that age, you could see where you're gonna be, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So
it was really good what they did. I don't know if every club did that, but at the time, like as a kid that was 10 years old, that was unreal. And like my uncle Stuart got me involved a little bit involved in Junior Blues, like after, in terms of like being part of the, not just the football, but being more part of what was going on in and around them days after the game. So I was able to meet more of the players. Like, my uncle's a City fan as well, and he came every time with me, and it was just a really good time. It just made you want more. Do you know what I mean?
It's sort of give you a bit of like a dangle and a carrot as such, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. And then what that did was it put you in the eye of other clubs then as well. So other clubs was watching you. So you might not have then gone on to be a City youth team player, but you could have gone on to other clubs as a youth team player. So it was class.
Did you progress up to youth team then? What happened after that?
No, they let me go because I only had one attribute, and that was get the ball, kick it past people, run after it and slot in. And I think City was playing in it was the first division back then, and that was the Premier League, wasn't it? So the equivalent of the Premier League, and they wanted a little bit more. They wanted their players to be 2-footed and have more about them than just one attribute, which what I was really good at. So I didn't get scouted. I didn't get taken on. They didn't move me into City's youth team or anything like that. It just kind of fell by the wayside. And then I was a little bit lost. So it was like, right, I've got to find a Sunday team. What the hell do I do now? And this is like, 13 years old, thinking, I'm going to get taken on, to now, oh shit, I've got to go and play with school. What am I going to do? Do you know what I mean? Then what happened was my auntie was taking my cousin to something called the Bobby Charlton School of Excellence at Hotwood Hall College, and she was like, they've got like a is it under 16s category? Yeah. So do you want to come? Because I was a little bit lost, and I'd just gone back to playing on the field, playing in the street. Like I was a street kid, just playing in the street with the lads. I just went back to doing that. Didn't play any Sunday football, didn't play for a team, wasn't really interested in playing for my school anymore. And my auntie just said, do you want to go to that with your cousin? So I was like, yeah, you have to pay like a subs or whatever and go. And when I went, I got there and it was like professional, like it was set up proper, like you get put in each group category, you'd go away, you'd sit together, you'd get changed together, you'd have your lunch together, and it was a full 4 hours on a Saturday. So you was like it felt like you was part of an academy, and because it was Bobby Charlton School of Excellence, she was like, Jesus, this is decent, and I've been able to like ask to come to this. I've not been selected, but I've been able to ask to come to it. And then there was a coach there called Bryn, and he was like, he worked as United youth team coach for years, and he discovered Ryan Giggs. Right. And he was the coach for this team for my age group. And he said to me, like, we're going to put you on the left-hand side. You're naturally left-footed. You're very quick. This is what we want from you. We want you to develop an act. I mean, they got me doing lots of dribbling techniques, in and out of cones, cutting back, spinning, making sure, very old school style of wing play. Yeah. Get round the outside of your fullback, whip the ball across the box to set people up. It's like, so let's not think about just scoring goals now. Let's think about the assisting. Yeah, we get you the ball. You take that person on and you whip that ball in to this guy who's going to finish a chance. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So then they developed that side of my game then. So they just put me predominantly on the left-hand side and just was like, when we pass you the football, your main aim is to beat this player, put that ball in this area for 1, 2, 3 players to try and finish a chance. And that developed, that gave me an idea of positional play and you know, like if we're defending, then how to tuck in and make a flat 4 nice and tight. And I've never experienced that. Even at Junior Blues, I didn't experience that. A lot of coaches that I've had before that was just give that kid the ball, he'll skin everyone and put it in the back of the net. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was an eye opener. I was part of a team then, which I was just the individual that was really good, and it changed my perspective on football a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Right. I mean, some of the players that I played with after that won't agree with me because I was still very selfish in front of goal. But yeah. So then I adapted the ability then to be able to take people on, crossbar. I look for assists rather than take somebody on, take somebody else on, go for goal.
Yeah. So obviously, Bobby Charlton, by the sounds of it, sort of changed, like reignited your fire a little bit.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry. Halfway through it, but he plugged my phone in. So it reignited your fire a little bit. So obviously, you're in at United a touch. You've got like a little bit of a step in the door. So what happened then from there?
So he told Manchester United about me, and they started to watch me. So I went back to playing for, because it gave me a load of like it made me feel good playing again. So
Yeah.
it gave me the opportunity to go back playing for school. I went and played for a Sunday team, so I was playing for school on. I think we used to play our games on Fridays, Wednesday afternoons or Friday afternoons after school. And then you'd play I'd play Saturdays with Bobby Charlton, which the School of Excellence was good because they'd get you playing against like Japan's under 15s would be on a tour and they'd come
Right.
and we'd play against them. We'd play against United ladies. We'd play against you play against loads of teams. Like I remember playing against Southampton youth team because they was on a tour for pre-season, so they got them to play us and stuff like that. So he's playing against good players and people that understood how to play football and position and stuff. And then I went back to playing Sundays as well. So I went playing for a team called Newton Heath United with all my school friends, and there is when I put all of it together then. So
Right.
the assists, the goals, having good positional play, being able to just read the game better because I was playing so frequent, and I think that's what helped me. I was playing so frequent for lots of different things. I was picking things up everywhere. I was able to play for this Sunday League team, and it was the season where I'd scored like 62 goals, and my team wasn't a team that won the league or anything like that. It was a young team that floated around mid-table.
Right.
But the manager used to say, if I don't score, the team don't score. So
No pressure, like.
it was like but I enjoyed that. Like, you know me, mate. Like I do like the pressure. Do you know what I mean? And I've always have done. But I enjoyed that, and I felt like I was needed. So it made me work and try harder. So and that's when that, along with what Bryn had said, made me think the next step here now is I'm going to get a professional team. So I was going on to like 15, 16 years old. So I was finishing school at this time.
Right.
And so United had sent scouts out. I was scoring goals for fun. And I just thought, I'm going to get taken on. I'm a City fan. So in my head, I was like, do a goal, do a not. 100% you go, because this could change your life. Yeah. And what happened was, I think they watched me over like a 3-month period, and it was good because they gave me feedback. They sent me a letter and said I was too inconsistent. Right. So they said that I had all the ability. I was really good, but I was inconsistent. Like I'd flit in and out of games. I'd have a 20-minute spell where you wouldn't see me. And it was to take that feedback was difficult, mate. At 15 years
How old was you? 15, 16?
15, yeah. So like all your mates are going out getting written off and stuff, and you're staying at home thinking Manchester United are watching me, so I've got to be right. Do you know what I mean? To play on the weekend, and I'd score 2, I'd score 3, and I thought I've definitely done enough.
Yeah.
But they'd be like, we need players that are consistent for a full 90 minutes, and they said I was just too inconsistent within matches or over a period of games. I was just very inconsistent, and in my head I was like, but I'm scoring. What do you mean by this? Yeah, so that floored me a little bit then as well, and I didn't know. I just thought I just love playing now. So I was I was in too deep. So I just carried on playing Sundays. I got to the end of my school year and I didn't know I was being watched by anybody. And then I was saying it to you just before we went on. They sign, when you sign your shirts at the end of school year. When you leave to go to college or whatever, I'd not made my decision, and I was getting a headache at home off my mum. What are you going to do? It's going to be a bum. You're going to get a job. You need to do this. Go and work in a warehouse or go to college. I went to a couple of colleges, obviously, because I was doing Bobby Charlton at Upward Hall. I went to Upward Hall, went to enroll, didn't really want to, and I just didn't know what I was going to do. And I just thought, oh mate, what am I going to do here? So I enjoyed that final day, and then when I come home, my granddad said you've had a call from Burnley saying that they want you to go on trial during pre-season to see if, because they've been watching you, so you go on trial for pre-season.
So you weren't aware that Burnley were like keeping tabs on you? No,
didn't have a clue, mate. All I thought was Man United was watching me,
right.
And in my head I was like, definitely going to get took on because I'm scoring for fun. So I just thought it like that, and I probably was still in that mindset where I'm scoring, so I'm good. Do you know what I mean? Whereas they want somebody. Well, look at them around that time, mate. They was winning absolutely everything. Do you know what I mean?
What year was it roughly?
Well, it was 98.
Right.
It'll be 1998 because I left school in 98. So.
Yeah, just on the cusp of like the treble and all that.
Treble and everything. Yeah. So in my head, I was like, this, definitely. I'm scoring for fun. Score every week. They can't say no. And they said, no, you're not what we're looking for. I was like, what? What do you mean? Yeah. So.
What did it feel like then? So for like 3-4 years, your mindset basically through City and then United of like, I'm going to be a professional footballer. That's the way I'm going to go. So that between that and sort of getting the call about Burnley, like, what was you thinking about it? Like, what's a world crusher?
A little bit, but I think I'd developed a knack to be very stubborn at that point. So whereas when I first started playing when I was a kid, and it knocked me for 6 when Junior Blues told me no, this did the total opposite. I was like, I'm too good. That's what I thought in my head. Yeah. And I remember teachers telling me like, what are you going to do when you leave? And I was like, I'm going to be a pro footballer. But what if that doesn't happen? But well, it is. And that was the mindset. Like I was just hell bent on. It doesn't matter if they. Well, I was gutted that he told me that I was inconsistent. But in my head, I was like, well, I won't be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So in my head, I was like, right. Well, the next step is probably to go and write to football teams. So when I was going home, the process in my head was there's so many football teams in the Northwest. I'll write to Bury, I'll write to Rochdale, I'll write to... Because back then you could do that, couldn't you?
Yeah, I remember doing that, like 13. I think the uncle was like, just write to Bury. And because he was like a steward at the time or something. He's like, write to him, that they'll take you on. I'm like, Bury? I have a kick about my garden, But he obviously seen someone, and it was just... I didn't. I thought, no.
No chance. They did, but back then they did. You could write to them and ask, and they wouldn't ask for no money. They'd just go, right, come down and see. Let's see how you are. You've got 2 days. You've got a week, whatever. I just wrote this letter, and I was gonna like duplicate it and send it out. That was the step. That's what I was gonna do.
There was no email to all them, was there?
no, I didn't even have a mobile phone. So that was the plan. So. In my head, that was my only plan. I've not spoke to anybody about it. I've not said anything. I just thought I'll write out to all these clubs, And what I did was I looked. There used to be, I don't know if it's still out now, but it used to be a non-league football magazine, didn't there? Do you remember? Like a paper.
Yeah, there is. I think it's called non-league paper. I don't know if it's the same one, but there is one out.
Yeah. So, and what I did was I bought that. And I looked at all the teams that was in like a 5 mile, 10 mile radius where I could get the bus. And I just thought, I'll write to all them, Ashton United, just any semi-pro, professional, just wrote to them all. And I thought, if I can get a couple of quid, I'll be happy. Do you know what I mean? And I did that. But luckily, I got home and I got told, you're going on trial in the summer. And what was interesting is my auntie was, she lived in Burnley. Because there was like, we don't give you digs for a trialist. You pretty much just have to make your own way there.
Yeah, so put yourself out.
I spoke to my auntie and she was like, right, well, you can stay with us for that period of time. So they lived in Nelson and it wasn't too far. It's just a bus ride down the road. And I just did that.